Hello students, I welcome you all for today's session. The topic is Content Marketing Landscape. I am Ms. Vaishnavi, Assistant Professor of English in Theivanai Ammal College for Women. So the topic that I'm going to talk about today is content marketing, which is an interesting topic that I'm sure that you will not feel bored, because it is a topic that every single night it is reaching its peak. You have to know this certain skill, like you have to know what it's actually about. So it is not just about for getting marks or scoring high in your internals or something. You just need to know more about this content marketing. With this you can actually have your resume and everything have built it up in a different way. The first is defining content marketing. So what do you actually mean by content marketing, and what is there to know about content marketing? And with this thing, with this particular skill, that you can actually create your resume in a different way, and you can get placed in a better companies, and you can get a role that you really wanted to do in your dream form and everything. But before that, you need to know what is content marketing and what you can develop in this certain field. So first is that strategic communication. So it is just more than, it's not just it's about writing content, or it's just about talking about some specific thing or something. So first is strategic communication. So using stories to engage and build relationship with the audiences. So talking about something is different, just engaging your audience is different, and then strategically communicating with your audience and making it very feasible for them to not divert it from the topic is completely different. So these are all different things. You can just talk about any irrelevant stuff for many hours, and then still people will act like they're just listening. Or you can actually talk about something which is really useful and you can engage your audience. Or you can strategically communicate with your audience about something that you can actually envision them about a certain thing. So this is what you need to have. So how can you talk to your audience about something that is really important, and how can you engage them with specific facts or important things that you need to know? That is what we're going to talk about today. Then multimedia formats. It is not just about talking. It's not public speaking that you can only focus on your presentation. How can you present in front of an audience, or what are the things that you can add, or what are the anecdotes or stories that you can add so that the audience feel engaged. So this is not something that you can only focus on a certain thing. So you have to focus on multiple aspects. Like first one is that how can you develop your content through blogs? How can you develop your content through YouTube? How can you develop your content through articles or Google or email or certain things? There are so many things. Multiple platforms are there. What can you do that you can make your audience engage with your content? How can you make them hooked with your work and everything? So these are the things that you need to know. So first one is that multimedia formats. It is not one single platform that you need to focus. You have to focus on all other platforms as well. So first one is that you can incorporate your blogs, and then you can share the same link in your Instagram story, and you can give the same link in your WhatsApp and everything, and you can ask a poll about how well it is effective or something. So multimedia formats are there. You're not just going to traditionally follow one particular platform and then you're just going to think, okay, it's done. So you have to focus on all other platforms as well, all other aspects as well. Then it is goal driven. You have to have a goal. For example, if I'm going to post a news related blogs, you have to stick with that. You have to talk about the news. What are the relevant things that the students need? What are the things that the parents need? What are the things that the children need? What are the actual global news that is happening right now at this moment? So if you have a goal, or if you have a thing that this is my niche, I'm going to focus on this particular field, means you have to stick on to that one. So if you started off with talking about certain thing, and then you just kind of diverged and then everything, and now you completely transcussed and you talk about anything and everything else, means there will not be any use. So people will get confused. So you have to focus on a particular goal. So this is what I'm going to talk about it today. So this is what I'm going to talk about throughout the content. So that is like you have to have a goal driven content first. Then is this the evolving landscape, key trends and shifts. So how can you evolve through the content? Like how can you evolve along with the media? So first one is personalization. So tailoring content to specific audience needs and preferences. Personalization is something that you have to create a certain news in order to satisfy the target audience. It is not about a bunch of audience. It's just about you have to satisfy every individual's needs. So how do you personalize? How do you tailor your content according to their likings and dislikings? You have to focus on that aspects as well. So for this, you need to know your audience's demographics, psychographics, infographics, everything. Only then you can satisfy their level, at least like 50-60%. So you need to keep this in your mind as well. Then is this short form content. With the growing popularity of all this bite-sized video and a quick reels and everything, you need to know how do you like crisp and clarity with all this effective method, like medias, apps, tools that they are using. You need to create your content in a precise manner. At the same time, you need to make a video that is really engaging, that is really informative, and that is also beneficial for the audience. Then comes this interactive content. You need to have this engagement content with like polls or asking MCQs or asking any other question and answer sessions or any live streams, this message and everything in this comment section and everything. So you need to know how do we engage our audience. You have to have this in your mind before you give your content. Then is this audience analysis. So knowing your target audience is really important. So first one is demographics. You have to know your audience demographics and define their age, gender, location, and lifestyle and everything. Because a person living in America and a person living in India in a rural community will not have their same ideas, will not have their same opinion about a single thing. So you need to know your audience's demographics. So what do they like, what do they do, what is their occupation, what is their behavior and everything. So you need to know. Second one is that behavior. So analyze content interactions and purchase patterns. So how well your content is doing. If you talk about a certain or controversial thing, how well your content is reaching the right audience. If you talk about a generic thing, how well it is reaching the audience, so that you can know, okay, I have to avoid this topic, I have to talk about this topic more and more. This is the certain area that nobody is covering, so I have to talk about it. So you need to know all these things before you release your content. Then is this needs and pain points. So before you release your content, you need to know your audience's pain points. What do the audience need at this point? So you have to create a content, tailor your content, edit and everything, and then post a content that the audience really need at this point. This is the need of her. So if you're gonna talk about a specific thing that is happening right now, you cannot create a content and then post it after a year or two. So you have to post a content right now. So you just need to know your audience's demographics first, and then you have to know their behavior, then you have to know their needs and pain points, and you have to be very you have to focus on the time first. So you have to be very relevant, and you have to create your content and then post your content at the same time. So you have to keep your time. Then comes this preferred channels. Select the platform where your audience is most attractive, because attract at the same time. Certain college students would be very active in Instagram. Some college students would be very active in YouTube. So parents would be active in Google, or someone would be active in YouTube or chat and everything. So people will be active in different platforms. So you need to know where your audience lays. So where is your audience coming from? Which is the platform that they are regularly using and they are really active. So you need to know that platform first, and then you can post your content regularly in that platform. Obviously you have to post all this content in all other platforms as well, but at the same time you can post this content in that specific platform first and then come to the next channels. So you have to tailor your content for that specific channel first. So if you think that your audience is actually coming from the YouTube platform, so you have to create a content which is relevant, which is feasible for the YouTube first. Then only you have to trim it and then post it on Instagram Reels, or just give it a link in a YouTube, Google or something. So you have to know where your audience actually coming from, which platform they're coming from. Then this platform power, choosing the right channels. So is it social media, or is it blogs and websites, or is it email marketing, or is it just some writing it in a write-ups or something. So you need to know which platform suits you better. So first one is that social media. So drive engagements with visual and interactive posts, leverage influencers and user content generated content. So social media is not just about simply creating a content and then posting it and getting viral in one night or something. So it's not just about reaching the millions and etc. It's about engaging your audience, how well you know your audience and how well the audience likes your content. So you have to be very visually attractive, like the content you're creating, it should be visually appealing and everything, and the words that you choose, you should not use any ambiguous words, or your content should be very diplomatic. You should not talk, or you should not be biased when you're talking about these things, certain things in social media. So if you pick social media as your niche, if you pick social media as your platform power, you should be very careful. And then comes this blogs and websites. I'm not going to say that blogs and websites is less risky, that you can talk about anything or everything. No, this is also a tricky platform. Every platform that you're trying to post a content, you have to be very careful in what you're talking about. So first thing, blogs and websites is that establish authority with in-depth articles and SEO, convert visitors with clear calls to action, So when it comes to blogs and websites, you just need to mainly focus on your SEO, the search engine optimization. You have to give your effective keywords in search, so that when people search for something else, your content will pop up. So you need to know, you need to analyze the target audience, and then you have to create your content in such a way, and then you have to give your keywords specifically relevant to that particular topic or the current trends or current issues, that is the problems or thing that the people are facing right now. Then comes this email marketing. So nurture leads with personalized and direct messages, track performance through open and click rates. So when it comes to email marketing, it is more of a professional kind of thing. So leads with personalized and direct messages, you can directly talk with your audience and everything. Then this track their performance through open and click rates and everything. So choosing your platform wisely is most important. Then comes this content strategy. How do you strategically try to convey the audience, try to persuade the audience or something? So first one is you have to have a clear goal first. So define what success looks like for your content efforts. So you need to have a clear vision. This is what I'm going to talk about today. This is what I'm going to focus throughout my video. This is the thing that I'm going to focus on every other video. So you need to have a clear goal first. Then this develop themes. So create overarching themes or topics to guide your consistent messaging. So if you think that this is the content that you're going to talk about, you need to have a similar theme for it. So the things that you can complement with the content. Then comes this planned format. So choose types of content that fit audience needs. So you need to know this is the type of content that the audience like at this point of time. They do not like to read descriptive content for a longer time. They just need some certain points in a bulletin points. They just need everything in a crisp manner, like a headline pattern, just like a caption they need. Means you have to give that kind of content. Then comes the schedule and distribute. So timing your content is really important. Timing content to maximize reach is important. You cannot say like morning 6 a.m. and evening 6 a.m. has the same kind of impact or same kind of engagement or publicity in the platforms. For example, if you post something at the morning 6 a.m., it would reach a different kind of audience. If you post something at the evening 6 p.m., it would reach a different kind of audience. So you need to know, you need to have this, you need to pick this specific time, which when you post, your audience will like view it better or like it better or share and distribute it better. So you need to schedule a time and then you have to distribute it. Then this measurement and analytics. So tracking your success is equally important. Not just tracking your success, but at the same time tracking your failure is even more important. Only if you know your demerits, like what are the things that you're lacking, what are the things that you need to improve, only then you can actually develop your content or you can improve in your field and everything. So first one is engagement metrics. You need to know, you need to monitor the likes, comments, shares, time spent in the content and everything. So if they say any comment, you just, when you're posting a content, you have to agitate a comment positively and negatively. So you're not just, when you get a negative comment, you shouldn't be just fed up with everything or anything. So you have to know, like, what are the things that we can actually do to improve our content, which will make or which will satisfy our audience better. Then comes this conversion rate. So when you get so many negative comments, you should just get tired of it, and then you have to start working on it. So how do I make my people who are just watching my content to actually buy my product? How do I make them not just to watch my content but also to like my content, share my content and subscribe my channel? So you need to have these ideas in your mind. Then this SEO performance, as I told you earlier, the search engine optimization, you need to have a specific keywords to attract these things in the Google and everything. Then this analyze organic search rankings and website traffic. So you need to actually organically attract the traffic in the online platforms. For that, you need to create a content effectively, and then you have to have all this visual appealing things and everything, and then you have to post a content which actually appears higher in the SEO rankings. So the future of content marketing, what's in the horizon? The first one is that AI driven content. Obviously everything and anything is getting AI now, so leverage optimization for personalized and scalable creation. So instead of just giving out a vague content, you can actually get a help from AI and then create a content which is equally attractive to the audience. Then comes this augmented reality, create immersive brand experiences and product demos. Then this data privacy focus, adapt strategies to evolve consumer privacy laws. You have to focus on the privacy ethics as well. Then comes this authenticity and transparency. So build trust through genuine and honest communication. So having a authenticity with the content that you're creating and with the audience is really important. You have to create this authenticity among your audience. Only if the audience think that your content is authentic, genuine, and there is no bias or something, it is actually transparent, mean the audience will like your content. So you need to focus on that aspect as well. Thank you.